Well, for those watching this program from the bush, you know what it means to run out of water, as I witnessed when I joined the Oz Truckers water convoy to Coonabarabran earlier this year. Life changes dramatically. No clean showers, no turning on the tap for water, gritty cups of salty tea, carting expensive water supplies from the cities, and stock slowly perish. Well, one charity is coming to the rescue using donations and technology to solve part of the problem. The co-founder of Rural Aid, Charles Alder, joins us to explain. Charles, g'day there.
Good evening, Chris. How are you?
I'm very well, mate. Very, very well. Before we get to this story, and it's a great story, I bet Rural Aid doesn't keep 85% of its donations for a rainy day like the Red Cross.
No, Chris. In fact, our annual report's just come out today, and for the 2018-2019, it was less than 10% of our cost went to administration. So, in fact, we've delivered $45 million worth of assistance to farmers in drought, flood and fire-affected communities in the last 18 months. So
brilliant.
We're very much of the spirit to get it delivered as quickly as possible.
Because in the context of bushfires, there's still a need for accommodation, still a need for clothes, transport, health care facilities and also mental health facilities. There's a huge emergency still going on as we speak, isn't there?
Absolutely, Chris. Every aspect of the lives of these people in these rural communities has been affected, not only with the drought, which we've had, for the last 6 or 7 years, but now the added pressure of the fires and the destruction of fences and properties, and just the daily toll that places on families just to get up every day and keep going. It's just another added pressure for them. Yeah,
hopefully the message gets through to those who run the Red Cross. OK. Tell us about these mini desalination plants, I can't even picture them, that end up out in the bush to de-salt some of their water, what's left of their water.
Yeah, so about 12 months ago, Rural Aid invested in a mobile desalination unit. We worked with a company called Salt Free from Victoria, who fully manufacture the whole unit in Australia. And the idea of the unit is that in times of emergency where there is only a salt water supply or predominantly bore water supply for a community, we can actually install this unit on a temporary basis, like we did with Tenterfield. It's been delivering 70-odd thousand litres of drinking water to them. And it's now moved to Brewarrina in Western New South Wales because the guys at Tenterfield were able to get a much bigger desalination unit for their town. But it really is an emergency stopgap desal unit that provides us about 70,000 litres of fresh drinking water every single day. Wow,
it almost looks like a soft drink dispenser. That's all it looks like. But it obviously has to be powered. And what happens to local people? They what pay for the water, or how does it work?
So we, in this case, we're contracting the local councils who'll pay for the maintenance and service of the unit. It remains the property of Rural Aid, but the council, and in some cases I believe the New South Wales government, is helping fund the expense to maintain the unit while it's in use in these communities. But it does produce drinking water. I believe that the people of Brewarrina are also using it to fill plastic bottles for houses. But it's a very simple device. Again, it's fantastic Australian technology. Brian and Carolyn from Salt Free have done amazing work, not only with this unit, but smaller units, but even much larger units are being distributed into communities and farms that need these units.
Wow. Look, stay right there, Charles, because the Mayor of Brewarrina has phoned in, and that town has just been given one of these mobile desal units, as you described. Philip O'Connor, the Mayor of Brewarrina, g'day.
G'day. How you going, mate?
I'm doing very, very well. Where have you placed your soft drinks dispenser, otherwise known as a mini desal plant?
Yeah, mate, it's down at in the car park at the Visitor Information Centre, right where everyone can access it, mate, and she's all plumbed in and powered up and running as we speak. Excellent. And I tell you what, mate, it's a great thing. It's a great thing for the community, and and I can't thank Rural Aid enough for what they've done. To get this unit here. Apparently there was a few wires got crossed about the unit coming to Bree, but it's already here, mate. So, and if I hope no one got embarrassed about the shift. But I can't thank Rural Aid And yeah, so it's great, mate.
How have the people of Bree reacted to the desal plant?
Yeah, well, they've been drinking, the town water. The plant, does a mighty job to do what it does, mate, with the water that's left in our weir pool, because we haven't got any bore water here. The basin starts about 50 k's to the north, quite Artesian basin, so we sunk a bore up there, but we're just waiting on more funding to try and pipe that back. But with what's in the weir pool, mate, yeah, and, the community are just, really thrilled with it, mate.
Well, that's great to hear. It's only a short-term solution. We know that. We still need a lot of rain, don't we, Phil?
Yeah, she's a pretty fair mess out here, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Chris, like we got 6 rivers run through our shire, and they're a complete mess, a lot of them, like there's a lot of them are bone dry, mate.
Yep.
So, yeah, so with a hell of a lot of rain, but it's raining somewhere, so there might be a bit of hope inside.
It's raining somewhere. I love that hope and inspiration. Philip, thank you very much for your time. All the very best.
Yep, appreciate that, Chris. Thanks a lot, mate, and thanks again to Rural Aid.
No problem. Charles from Rural Aid, you've been around the bush recently. There has been some rain falling. As a matter of fact, some towns have had follow-up rains this week because they had rains 3 weeks ago. What's the mood? Did that buoy people? Is it got them hopeful, or is it still pretty much a depressed atmosphere and attitude out there at the moment?
I think, Chris, that we were in Tamworth actually last weekend for the Tamworth Country Music Festival as guests of Toyota. And driving back to Brisbane, we actually saw quite a significant amount of green fields along the way. It certainly hasn't broken, but yes, it has lifted the spirits of people. There's certainly a bit of joviality and a little bit less pressure on people. But you're right, we do need very good rainfall across vast areas of New South Wales and Queensland to really break this drought, and we can only hope that that comes shortly. OK, we've got to make sure that we support you because you're doing such wonderful things, not just what you're doing with Brewarrina and other places, but tell me, for those who want to contribute, and they can contribute using your charity on specific things, which is the magic of it all, how can they do that? So, Chris, Rural Aid's launched a $25 million disaster campaign. We need these funds to be able to support about 10,000 primary producers and about 10 million livestock who've been affected just by the fires. That's on top of the commitments that we've already made for drought. And people can donate through the buyabale.com.au website. Yep. That's where the fundraising campaign is happening for this event at the moment. OK, buyabale.com.au. Charles Alder, congratulations on what you do. Just keep doing it, mate, OK? Will do, Chris. Thank you. Thank you.